The first message came in at 12:47 a.m., and if I'd been half asleep like I usually was around that time, I probably would have ignored it. But I wasn't asleep. I was lying on my couch in the dark, phone in hand, doom scrolling through stuff I didn't even care about, trying not to think about how quiet my apartment felt lately. So when my phone buzzed, the sound felt louder than it should have. Unknown contact. Hey, sorry if this is weird. Are you awake? I stared at the screen, my brow furrowing. Unknown contact? No name, no photo, just a local number. For a second, I thought it might be a wrong number, or spam, or one of those drunk text disasters people regret in the morning. I almost swiped it away. Then another message popped up. This is Ryan, from upstairs. That made me sit up. Ryan, my upstairs neighbor. We'd exchanged maybe 5 sentences total since I moved in 6 months ago. Mostly polite nods in the hallway. A quick hey man by the mailboxes. Once, he helped me carry a box when the elevator was broken. That was it. Still, I knew who he was. Tall, broad shoulders, always in gym shorts or worn jeans. Dark hair that looked permanently messy, like he didn't try, which somehow made it worse. Better. Whatever. And now he was texting me. After midnight, I typed back before I could overthink it. Me? Yeah. I'm up. What's up? 3 dots appeared almost immediately. Disappeared. Then appeared again. That pause should have been my first warning. I hope this isn't too random, he wrote. I just didn't know who else to ask. Ask what? I wondered. I waited. Do you ever hear weird noises at night? I frowned, glancing instinctively at my ceiling like it might answer for me. Me? From where? From my place, he replied. I mean above you. I know that sounds dumb. I almost laughed. Almost. Living in an apartment building, you hear stuff. Pipes knocking. Footsteps. Someone's TV too loud. Someone else being very loud and enthusiastic at 2 a.m. It wasn't exactly new. Me? Sometimes. It's an old building. Another pause. Longer this time. Then, yeah. That's what I thought too. But this feels different. Different how? I hesitated, then typed. Me? Different how? The 3 dots stayed there longer now. Like he was thinking hard about his next words. Like he was deciding how much to say. Finally, it's like someone's moving around when I'm not. That sent a small, unpleasant chill up my spine. Me? You think someone's in your apartment? No, he said quickly. I mean maybe. I don't know. I live alone. I leaned back against the couch, suddenly very aware of how late it was. How quiet the building felt. How the hum of my fridge was the only sound in the room. Me? Have you checked? Yeah, he replied. Multiple times. Another message followed immediately, like he hadn't meant to send just that. I know this sounds crazy. I could picture him upstairs now. You don't sound crazy. Just freaked out. Yeah, he wrote. That's a good word for it. There was a beat. Then, listen, can I ask you something kind of personal? That's when my stomach tightened. Because there was absolutely no normal reason for my upstairs neighbor, who barely knew me, to be asking me personal questions at 1 in the morning. Me? Depends what it is. The dots blinked. Stopped. Blinked again. Are you alone right now? I stared at my phone, my thumb hovering over the screen. Something about the question felt loaded. Or maybe I was projecting. I've been doing that a lot lately. Still, I answered honestly. Me? Yeah. Just me. The reply came instantly. Okay. Good. Good? I swallowed. Before I could ask why, another message came through. I think the noises might actually be coming from your apartment. I laughed out loud, sharp and surprised. Me? Mine? Dude, I haven't moved in like an hour. I know, he said. That's why it's weird. I stared up at my ceiling again. For the first time since the conversation started, I noticed something. A soft thud. Then another. Slow. Deliberate. Like footsteps. From above me. And then my phone buzzed again. Jake? Ryan wrote. You're not going to believe this. My eyes stayed locked on the ceiling as my phone buzzed in my hand. You're not going to believe this. Another thud echoed above me, heavier this time. Slower. Like someone pacing. Me? I'm literally hearing footsteps right now. There was a pause. Not even typing dots. Just silence. Then, yeah, same. My chest tightened. I sat up straighter, the couch cushion creaking under me. and listened. The sound came again, 2 steps, then a stop. Not random apartment noise, not pipes, not a neighbor dropping something. It was intentional. Me? Okay, that's not normal. Exactly, Ryan replied. And I'm standing in my kitchen, not moving. I rubbed my face with my free hand, trying to ground myself. Me? Is anyone else in your place? Like, anyone who could have come over? No, he said. I haven't had anyone here in days. Days. That detail stuck with me more than it should have. Another vibration. Can I come down for a minute? I froze. Not because I didn't want him to, but because the idea of Ryan upstairs, Ryan, quiet hallway nod, Ryan standing in my apartment at 1 in the morning suddenly felt way more intense than it had any right to. Me? Yeah, of course. If you're freaked out. I am, he admitted. More than I want to be. A few seconds passed. Then, I'm grabbing my keys. I stood up, heart thudding louder than the footsteps ever had. The apartment felt smaller now. Warmer. Like it knew something was about to happen. I padded over to the door and checked the lock, even though I knew it was locked. I didn't know why I did it. Nerves, probably. While I waited, I caught my reflection in the dark window. Barefoot, t-shirt, sweatpants. Not exactly company ready, but it wasn't like I'd planned this. The footsteps above me stopped. Then, faintly, I heard the stairwell door open. A minute later, there was a knock. Not loud, not hesitant, just firm enough to say I'm here. I opened the door. Ryan stood there in a hoodie and gym shorts, keys clenched in his hand. His hair looked messier than usual, like he'd run his fingers through it too many times. His eyes met mine immediately, sharp and alert. Hey, he said quietly. Hey, I replied, stepping aside. Come in. The moment he crossed the threshold, the air shifted. It wasn't dramatic. It was subtle, like the apartment suddenly knew it wasn't just mine anymore. Ryan glanced around, taking everything in like he was checking for exits. Sorry to just show up like this, he said. It's fine, I told him. Seriously. He exhaled slowly, shoulders dropping a fraction. Thanks. For a second, neither of us moved. Up close, he smelled clean. Soap and something faintly woody. I noticed stupid things like how broad his chest looked under the hoodie, or how his leg brushed the side of the couch when he turned. So, I said, breaking the silence, what exactly are you hearing? He rubbed the back of his neck. That's the thing. It sounds like it's coming from below me. Like, here. As if on cue, a soft creak came from the ceiling. We both looked up. Ryan's jaw tightened. That, he said. That's it. I swallowed. I didn't move. I know, he said. And the way he said it firm, certain made something in my chest loosen. That's why I'm here. Another sound followed. Slow. Measured. Step. Step. Stop. Ryan shifted closer without even realizing it. His arm brushing mine. This is seriously messing with me, he muttered. Do you want to call someone? I asked. Building management? Security? He shook his head. What am I supposed to say? That my neighbor and I are hearing a ghost. I let out a short breath that might have been a laugh. Fair. The noise stopped again. Silence pressed in. Ryan looked at me then. Really looked. His eyes lingered on my face longer than necessary, like he was trying to read something there. Can I be honest? He asked. Yeah. I didn't just text you because of the noise. My pulse jumped. Oh, he hesitated, then met my gaze again. I've noticed you before. You're always up late. Lights on. TV going. I felt heat creep up my neck. Yeah, I don't sleep great. Same, he said quietly. I guess I figured. If anyone would still be awake, it'd be you. That wasn't a confession. But it wasn't nothing either. Another creak echoed above us. Louder this time. Closer. Ryan's hand lifted instinctively and rested against my arm. Neither of us commented on it. You hear that? He whispered. Yeah. The sound moved. Directly overhead. Ryan's fingers tightened slightly. Jake, he said, voice low. Your ceiling, does it connect to anything? Like a crawl space? No, I said. Just your floor. His eyes flicked up again. Then why does it sound like someone's standing right there? Before I could answer, my phone buzzed on the coffee table. Both of us flinched. I picked it up. Unknown contact. I see you let him in. My blood ran cold. Ryan stared at my face. What? I turned the screen toward him. His expression changed instantly, confusion to disbelief to something darker. That's not me, he said. Another message came through. Tell Ryan he doesn't have to pretend anymore. Ryan's breathing went shallow. How does this person know my name? He asked. I shook my head slowly. I don't know, I said, but I think whoever's texting me isn't upstairs anymore. For a second, neither of us spoke. The phone buzzed again in my hand, sharp and insistent, like it knew it had our full attention now. Ryan stared at the screen, then at me. Jake, he said slowly. Who else has your number? I shook my head. No one who'd do this. Another message appeared. He looks nervous. Cute, though. Ryan swore under his breath. Okay, that's officially not funny. My pulse was loud in my ears. This person can see us. Or they're guessing, he said, but his voice lacked conviction. Almost immediately, another text came through. Guessing would be saying you're standing by the couch. You're not. You're closer to the door. Ryan went very still. That's exactly where I am, he said quietly. The room felt suddenly too warm, too small. Ryan took a step closer to me without thinking. This time, he didn't move away. Okay, I said, forcing my voice to stay steady. Okay, we're not panicking. Ryan let out a shaky laugh. You say that like it's working. I typed with trembling thumbs. Me? Who is this? The reply came instantly. Someone who's been listening for a while. A creak sounded above us. Both of us looked up. Ryan's hand found my wrist this time. Not tight, just grounding. You hear that again? He murmured. Yeah. That's my bedroom, he said. Directly above this spot. The phone buzzed again. He hates that room. Ryan gasped sharply. I've never told anyone this before. I turned to him. Why? He swallowed. I don't know. Ever since I moved in, it just doesn't feel right. Like I'm not alone in there. That sent a chill straight down my spine. Another message. You're closer than you used to be. I typed back. Me? Closer to what? There was a pause. Longer than before. Then, each other. Ryan looked at me sharply. This is messed up. Yeah, I said. But notice something? What? They're not threatening us. The phone buzzed again, almost like it disagreed. Not yet. Ryan cursed softly and ran a hand through his hair. Okay, I'm done. I'm calling the cops. Before he could pull his phone out, another message hit mine. If you call anyone, I disappear. My stomach dropped. Ryan leaned in, voice low. Disappear how? I typed. Me? What do you want? 3 dots appeared. Stayed. Disappeared. Then, I want you to stop pretending you don't feel it. Ryan's breathing hitched. Feel what? The answer came before I could respond. The light above us flickered once. Twice. Then steadied. Ryan grabbed my arm properly now. Jake Dash. I know, I said. My voice sounded far away to my own ears. I know. Another text. You've both been awake at the same hours for months. You both listen for footsteps that aren't yours. You both pretend it's just noise. Ryan stared at the screen like it might bite him. That's true, he admitted quietly. I do that. So do I said, surprised at how easily the words came out. Silence settled again. Heavy. Expectant. Then the phone buzzed. You're safer together. Ryan looked at me, something raw and unguarded in his eyes. Is that supposed to be comforting? I think so, I said. In a really messed up way. Another sound came from above. Not footsteps this time. Dragging. Slow. Deliberate. Ryan stiffened. That's not the floor. No, I said. It's the ceiling. My phone vibrated again. You don't have to go up there. Ryan shook his head immediately. Nope, absolutely not. You don't, the message continued. But he already has. My blood went cold. He, Ryan echoed. I stared at the screen. Me? Who? The reply came slower this time, almost careful. The one who's been standing behind Ryan every night this week. Ryan spun around. There was nothing there, just the door, the quiet hallway beyond it. Ryan's breath came fast. Jake, he said, barely above a whisper. I swear to God, sometimes when I wake up, it feels like someone's just stepped away from my bed. My phone buzzed one more time. He doesn't like when Ryan stays over. Ryan turned back to me slowly. Stays over where? The realization hit me at the same time it hit him. Here. The silence that followed was thick, electric, terrifying. And somehow under all of that something else stirred too. Something warm, protective. Ryan stepped closer. Jake, he said quietly. I don't think I should go back upstairs tonight. I looked at him. Really looked at him. Then don't, I said. My phone buzzed one last time. Good choice. We didn't move for a long moment. The apartment was quiet again, too quiet, like it was holding its breath along with us. I'm not crazy, right? He asked finally. His voice was low, almost embarrassed. This is actually happening? I shook my head. You're not crazy. That answer seemed to matter more to him than anything else. His shoulders loosened just a little. Okay, he said. Okay, then, what do we do? I glanced at the phone in my hand. The screen was dark now. No more messages. That somehow felt worse than when it had been buzzing nonstop. We don't go upstairs, I said. Not tonight. Ryan nodded immediately. Agreed. Another beat of silence. Can I sit? He asked. Yeah, I said, stepping back. Sorry. Yeah. We sat on opposite ends of the couch at first, like this was just a normal, slightly awkward visit between neighbors. But the space between us felt artificial. Forced. Like we were both pretending the other wasn't there. Ryan broke first, shifting closer, elbows on his knees. I haven't slept properly in weeks. Me neither, I admitted. He glanced at me. Really? Yeah. I keep waking up around the same time every night. Ryan let out a slow breath. Damn. The word hung there, heavy. We sat like that for a while, listening. Waiting for footsteps. For the ceiling to creak. For my phone to light up again. None of it happened. Instead, something else crept in. Awareness. This is going to sound weird, he said quietly. I glanced at him. Given the night we're having, I think weird's allowed. He huffed out a short laugh, then sobered. I don't think whatever that was up there is the reason I texted you. My chest tightened. You said that earlier. Yeah, he said. I think I used it as an excuse. For what? He looked at me then. Really looked. No humor. No deflection. I didn't want to be alone, he said. And you felt safe. The word landed hard. Safe, I echoed. He nodded. Every time I ran into you in the hallway, or saw your light on late at night, it felt like proof that someone else was still awake. That I wasn't the only one. I swallowed. That's why you noticed my lights? Yeah, he said. At first. And after? I asked. The air shifted again, but this time it wasn't fear. You know I'm not straight, right? I said softly. Ryan didn't hesitate. Yeah, I figured. Does that bother you? No, he said immediately. Too immediately. Then he added, quieter. I think it makes this make more sense. My heart started pounding for an entirely different reason now. Ryan leaned back against the couch, running a hand over his face. I've been lying to myself for a while, he said. About a lot of things. I waited. Didn't push. I kept telling myself the weird shit in my apartment was stress, he continued. Lack of sleep. But every time I almost fell asleep, my brain would go, what if you're just scared of being honest? Honest about what? I asked, though I had a feeling I knew. He looked at me again, eyes steady now. About wanting someone there. About wanting you there. The silence after that wasn't empty. It was charged. My phone buzzed on the coffee table. Both of us flinched. I picked it up. I told you you were safer together. Ryan let out a shaky breath. I hate that I agree with whoever the hell that is. Another message followed. Fear makes you honest. Ryan's laugh this time was soft. Disbelieving. Guess that explains tonight. I locked the phone and set it face down. I don't want it talking to us anymore. Ryan nodded. Me neither. He shifted again, closer this time, until our shoulders touched. This time, neither of us pretended it was an accident. If I stay, he said quietly, It's not just because I'm scared. I turned toward him. Good. Our eyes met, and for a second, everything else, the noises, the messages, the thing upstairs fell away. Ryan leaned in slowly, giving me time to stop him. The phone buzzed again. Neither of us looked at it. Ryan pulled back just enough to rest his forehead against mine. If something's been watching, he murmured. I hope it understands this isn't fear. I swallowed. Then what is it? He smiled, small and honest. Relief. From the table, my phone lit up one last time. I do. We stayed like that for a while. The tension in the room finally loosened into something quieter. Not gone. Just different. Like the fear had stepped back and was letting something else take up space. Ryan pulled away first, just enough to look at me. Okay, he said softly. That just happened. I smiled despite everything. Yeah, it did. He let out a breathy laugh and leaned back against the couch, staring at the ceiling. I feel like I should be freaking out more. But you're not. No, he admitted. I actually feel calmer, I said. If you want, I've got a spare blanket. Are you sure? He asked, though the relief in his voice gave him away. Yeah, I don't think either of us should be alone tonight. He nodded. Agreed. I tossed him the blanket and dimmed the lights, leaving just the lamp by the window on. The city glow spilled in softly, grounding, familiar, normal, or as close to normal as tonight was going to get. Ryan stretched out on the couch, then hesitated. Hey, Jake. Yeah. Would it be weird if I didn't sleep alone? I paused, then sat down beside him again. No, I said. The ceiling stayed quiet. No footsteps, no creaks, no dragging sounds. For the first time all night, silence felt earned. Ryan exhaled slowly. I think it doesn't like this. Who? Whatever was messing with me, he said. Upstairs. I tilted my head to look at him. Why do you think that? Because it's quiet, he said simply. It's been quiet since I stopped being alone. That thought lingered as my eyes grew heavy. Just before I drifted off, my phone buzzed once more on the table. Neither of us moved. A few seconds passed. Then Ryan murmured, half asleep. If that thing texts you again, don't answer it. I won't, I whispered. The phone buzzed again, then stopped. In the morning, sunlight crept through the window, warm and ordinary. Ryan was still asleep beside me. His face relaxed in a way I hadn't seen before. My phone sat dark and silent on the table. No new messages. And from upstairs, nothing at all. I woke up before Ryan did. That alone felt strange. Normally, my mornings were restless, half awake, brain already spinning, body tense like it was bracing for something. But this time, I just lay there, staring at the soft light crawling across the wall, listening to the quiet. Real quiet. No footsteps overhead. No random creaks. No sense that I was being watched. Ryan shifted beside me, mumbling something under his breath. I smiled despite myself. Carefully, I reached for my phone on the table. No notifications. No unknown number. Nothing. For the first time since moving into this building, my chest didn't feel tight when I looked at the screen. Ryan stirred again, eyes fluttering open. For a split second, confusion crossed his face, then memory caught up, and his expression softened. Hey, he murmured, voice rough with sleep. Hey, I replied quietly. He glanced around the apartment, then up at the ceiling. It's quiet. Yeah, I said. It stayed that way all night. Ryan let out a breath that sounded like it had been trapped in him for weeks. He rolled onto his back, rubbing his face. I don't remember the last time I slept like that. Me neither. He turned his head toward me, studying my face in the morning light. No tension, no guardedness, just curiosity and something warmer underneath. So, he said slowly, did we just trauma bond over a potential, whatever the hell that was? I laughed softly. Seems like it. And then kissed. And then cuddled. And then slept, he added, almost amazed. I nodded. All true. Ryan propped himself up on one elbow. I don't regret it. Something in his tone made my chest tighten again, but in a good way. Neither do I said. We stayed there for a while, talking quietly. About nothing important. About everything. How long he'd lived upstairs. How I hated the way the pipes banged at random hours. How he always pretended not to notice me in the hallway because he was afraid he'd say something stupid. You know, he admitted, I rewrote that first text to you like 5 times before I sent it. I almost ignored it, I said. He winced. Glad you didn't. So am I. Eventually, reality nudged its way back in. Work. Showers. The day moving forward whether we were ready or not. Ryan stood by the door, shoes back on, keys in hand. He hesitated, then looked at me. I don't really want to go back up there alone yet, he said. You don't have to, I replied. You could come back later. Or tonight. His smile was small but genuine. I'd like that. He paused, then added, and if the noises start again, we'll deal with them together. He nodded. Together. Ryan leaned in and kissed me quick. Sure. Like he wasn't second-guessing it anymore. When the door closed behind him, the apartment didn't feel empty. Later that afternoon, my phone buzzed for the first time since the night before. Unknown contact. My stomach flipped. I didn't open it right away. When I finally did, there was only one message. You listened. That was it. No follow-up. No typing dots. No threat. I didn't reply. I blocked the number. That night, Ryan came back with a backpack and an awkward grin. Just in case, he said. And when the lights went out, the building stayed quiet. Whatever had been haunting us, fear, loneliness, or something stranger didn't stand a chance against the simple fact that we weren't alone anymore. A week passed. Then, too, the building stayed quiet. Not just at night quiet in that deep, settled way, like something restless had finally found a reason to stop pacing. No footsteps above my ceiling at 1 a.m. No dragging sounds. No sudden awareness that I wasn't alone when I clearly was. Ryan didn't go back to sleeping upstairs. Not really. He still grabbed clothes from his apartment, still checked his mail, still pretended he lived there when the landlord waved at him in the hallway, but most nights, he ended up on my couch. One night, about 3 weeks after everything started. Can I tell you something? He asked quietly. Always. I went back up there today, he said. By myself. My hands stilled. How was it? He thought for a moment. Empty. Not scary. Just empty. I waited. And I realized something, he continued. Whatever that thing was, ghost, imagination, fear, whatever it fed on me being alone. My chest tightened. I kept telling myself I was fine, he said. That I didn't need anyone. He shifted, tilting his head up so he could look at me. Then you answered a text you didn't have to answer. I smiled softly. Best bad decision I've made in a while. He laughed, then grew serious again. I don't think it was ever really about the apartment. No, I agreed. One morning, while we were drinking coffee together, my phone buzzed. Unknown contact. Ryan noticed immediately. You okay? I looked at the screen, heart steady this time. Calm. Yeah, I said. I opened it. You don't need me anymore. No fear surged. No cold. No tightening in my chest. Just clarity. I typed back one thing. Me? No, I don't. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. The conversation ended. The number went dead. Ryan watched me put the phone down. That it? That's it, I said. That night, as we lay together, the ceiling stayed silent. And for the first time, I realized something else too. The quiet didn't feel empty. Felt full. Full of breath. Of warmth. Of someone else's heartbeat syncing with mine. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't being watched. It's being seen and finally letting yourself stay.